Hey guys, Frank with Gluten Squared here at the New Product Symposium. And I'm here with Ty. We're talking about the brand new miter saw. We saw this last year briefly. It was still painted gray and still in the official prototyping phase. And we were told not to take pictures of it. So now we can, and now we can talk about it. So please take it away.
Absolutely, yeah. So this is our brand new M18 Fuel 10-inch dual bevel sliding compound miter saw. This thing has everything you'd expect out of a corded saw, from capacity to performance to a ton of great features. So let's talk capacity. This has got 6-inch maximum vertical capacity, 2x12 horizontal capacity laying down the flat. It can do 6 1/4 inch crown nested. So really the capacity you would expect out of a lot of the premium corded saws in the market, and even more capacity than some of the leading 10-inch AC units out there. In terms of performance, we got 4,000 RPM, so we're going to give you clean, fast cuts through your trim and molding materials. But because of our power state brushless motor and our red lithium 9 amp hour high demand packs, we've got enough power and performance to muscle through pressure treated materials like 4x4 and 2x12 as well.
Yeah, you even mentioned the oak stair treads.
Absolutely, cutting something like an oak stair tread, which is a pretty demanding application. The thing's got the power to be able to sink the blade and cut straight through pretty cleanly. So really great power out of the product for a cordless tool.
Beautiful.
Next is runtime. We know it's huge concern to everybody when we start asking them to cut the cord. We can get up to 400 cuts on 3.5 inch baseboard. You can get close to 300 cuts in 2x4. You can get upwards of 150 cuts in 2x12. So really a ton of runtime to really keep users productive and make sure you're not running back and forth to the charger all the time. As I said, this is going to ship it with a kit with our 9 amp hour high demand pack. It's also going to come with a rapid charger. So we're going to give you everything we can to keep you productive, keep you rolling on the job.
So if you do kill the battery, you'll have a quick one.
You get it charged really fast.
Awesome.
So beyond that, really, miter saws are about being accurate, and we want to make sure we had all the features required to keep this saw repeatably accurate for the users. So everything from a stainless steel detent plate that's adjustable, so if the saw does become out of calibration, you can get it squared back up.
I see a few star keys in here.
Yeah, absolutely.
It just kind of slides.
Yeah, so you can adjust these screws right here, and you can kind of square it up with a square, quick square. Get yourself back to square. We've got our actual miter system, so we got a cam locking miter system here in the front.
That's great. I mean, my miter saw, it has the twist lock that you mentioned earlier, and the cam also seems a lot easier. So.
Yeah, absolutely. So the cam's a lot quicker, and we know pushing down is a lot better than turning side to side.
Right.
So it's going to help you stay more accurate, make sure you're locking into the right spots. Nice. We've got detent override as well, so you can actually use this lever here to turn off the detent. So if you want to get just outside of 45 or just outside of one of our detents, this is going to keep you from getting pulled back into those detents over and over and trying to set that right angle. You just undo it by pulling that underneath lever. Cool. Another big thing, the saw's dual bevel, as I mentioned. It's got 48 degrees of bevel both ways. We've also got a really great bevel mechanism in the back. Instead of having that big knob behind the tool, this has actually got a paddle. So you just pull up on this paddle, so it allows you to free range of bevel. If you let it click back one time, it actually finds the detents that we've got pre-built in.
Oh, nice.
So you can, again, get very quick, very repeatable, accurate cuts.
I also like how it kind of looks like you almost kind of fanned it out a little bit, so you can, it's really easy to grab.
Yeah, we want to make sure when you reach back here, you don't have to get a whole paw on it. You can kind of get it with a couple fingers, and it's pretty easy to pull up.
Or even the exact opposite, where it's too small and you got to almost hunt and find it. That one's really easy.
Absolutely. So we want to make sure that when you have to bevel your saw, that it's easy to do. The last piece of accuracy is really our shadow cut line feature. So we know lasers sometimes show up on miter saws, but we know lasers can become uncalibrated compared to where the blade actually cuts.
Exactly.
So we've got an LED stationed here at the front of the guard that's going to be able to cast a shadow line right on your material. So wherever that shadow shows up, that's exactly where your blade's going to cut into the material.
No guessing.
There's no guessing.
Nothing.
Even if the blade would be slightly off center, left or right, it's still going to give you the exact location that blade's going to cut your material, so you can be accurate as you're cutting. The last real piece about this is portability, right? We're going to give you a cordless saw. We want to make sure it's easy and fast to move around. So it's only 45 pounds without a battery, 47 with a pack on it. We've given you extra carry handles here on the sides to make sure you can get your hands and arms around the saw, as well as your top carry handle. So really portable if you're a framing contractor, deck builder, or a finish carpenter. Wherever you need to move, upstairs, downstairs, out onto a job site where there's no power power, this is really gonna be a game changer.
Yeah, I noticed for these top handles, I mean, I see you got some other handles under here, but these top handles, you rounded them off and extended them out past the table.
Yeah, so it gives
I
you a little
could
extra
probably carry it on my side too.
Yeah,
which would be nice.
so you can carry it in a bunch of different orientations. You can kind of grab it bear hug style,
Right.
hold it on your side. They give you a little extra support as well off
Right.
the table, so a little bit wider extension to keep your workpiece supported. And yeah, they're nice and beefy, but they're rounded, so you can kind of get a nice grip on and they're not cutting into your hands.
Oh, and one thing that you and I talked about a little bit earlier that I really was fond of is the rails are actually mounted under the table, which is really cool because that way they're not out behind and they don't take up more space. I mean, they're just locked in, and as you said, when you lock it in and you go to transport it, you don't have 6-8 inches of rail sticking out behind it, which is really nice. It kind of makes it a little more streamlined.
Yeah,
and
absolutely.
even it feels a little more sturdy because it's kind of sitting back on those rails.
Yep, absolutely. Yeah, we want to make sure we protect those rails when you guys transport the saw around. Instead of having them exposed where something could fall on them, they get beat up. You pull the saw forward, they go underneath the table. You lock the head down. You lock the saw into place. You pick it up. You can move it pretty quick and easy.
Another thing to note too is